Well, thank you, Sue, for joining us. Sue is the founder of Accountable for Change, and she is an executive coach. And Sue, first of all, can you tell us your full name? Because I did not want to mutilate your last name, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Sue Groszkiewicz. I'm Polish, and I'm also Italian.
Okay.
So, quick background on myself. I came out of the public accounting arena, professional services. Also wanted to dabble in being a lawyer. Thought, oh, this would be very exciting. Came back to the CPA world, and then after a merger of our firm, acquisition of our firm, rolled out to be my own executive coach. What I learned from working, say, 30 years plus, was that people sabotage their behavior without even knowing that they are. They just do these, there's no self-awareness at times. They just have these actions and reactions to what's happening to them. And earlier this year, I found positive intelligence. A peer of mine that I had actually worked with in the CPA world brought it to me and said, why don't we do this together? And so we went through a training program. Positive intelligence really is, how do I shift my mindset from a negative mindset to a positive mindset so that I have the capacity to respond to life's challenges? And it was transformational. I said, this is how I want to spend the rest of my career. Talking about it, getting people involved, teaching them how they can shift their mindset, and then deal with everything that comes up during the day. Now, that being said, I get hijacked. I'm going to get hijacked. My negative emotions are going to flare up. I'm going to get triggered. Yeah. So that's a high level of what it is. There's 5 different kinds of sciences that come into play. It's all on the website, positiveintelligence.com. For me, I'm licensed to teach it, to do the training. We deliver everything we do through an app. So that's a high level about it.
It was so intriguing to me because, I mean, a lot of people talk about emotional intelligence, and then there's cultural intelligence, and I had never heard of positive intelligence. But what was so eye-opening, like IQ is your IQ. That's it. Emotional intelligence, you can really work on those things. And by going through those links that you sent me for all the, the sabotagers and different things like that, there are tangible ways that you can increase your positive intelligence. Mm-hmm. And like you said, we are our own worst enemies at times with sabotaging ourselves. So one of the points that we had discussed was like negative self-talk. So can you kind of talk about like, what does that look like, and why is it so bad for us?
So have you ever heard a voice inside your head that goes, why'd you do that? That was dumb. Yeah. Oh, you're an idiot. That sort of thing. And all of a sudden it just comes out of nowhere. You hear these voices, or you have this mind chatter going on, and you can't turn it off. You know it's there. This is a response. It's really your anger, your frustration, your guilt, your shame. It's all of that just comes out at possibly the worst times. And it comes from our having to learn how to adapt to life when we're a young kid. We're not talking trauma. We're not talking the big events that can happen when you're a child. We're just saying, how do I just find my way? So it's the I should do this and I should do that sort of behavior. And that's what the negative self-talk is. It just comes out. And so just listen to yourself. And where we recognize it is when you have a negative emotion, you're about to start having that negative talk. Mm-hmm. We call it a hot stove moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like, put your hand on the hot stove. That's a good thing, because now you've recognized it. Pull your hand off.
Yeah. So I think that, self-awareness is, I think so many people do this. I, for one, can do it as well. Right. And not even realize that you're doing it because it's part of what you're doing. You make a mistake, you beat yourself up, whatever that may look like. But in being aware of it and starting to hear you can stop it. You can stop it.
Yes.
And so, a lot of people say, well, that's the way I am. I can't change. Like that's just the way I am. I've been doing it for years or whatever. So what would you say to those people who really don't think that they have that control over that?
Are you happy?
Yeah.
Are you happy? A lot of people can be successful in life. Are you successful and happy? Do you want more peace? Do you want more well-being? How are your relationships? You have really good relationships? Are you growing as a person? It's just a choice.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, can it be overcome? And do you have tangible things that anybody who's listening can start implementing today without going through a course, without doing anything, just start today to capture that?
So go back to the hot stove moment. If all of a sudden you're having negative feelings, recognize that something's going on inside of you and it's a hot stove moment. So pull back and just ask yourself, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? Why am I getting frustrated? What's the source of this? And we say, go into that explore mode. Just stop. Don't take action. Just ask yourself questions like, why is this happening? And then do something as simple as rub two fingers together. Just rub this because you shift your focus from whatever emotion you're feeling to here. It's the no thinking mind. It calms you down immediately. Do some breathing exercises as well. And something else that you can do is go to the website, positiveintelligence.com. Get educated about this. And there's an assessment there called Discover My Saboteurs. If you really want to understand what's going on with yourself, a lot of people just go and listen to that or take that assessment. And that's that self-awareness. They go, oh, and then there's a book out there, positiveintelligence.com. You can also read the book to get more.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And I love how with the rubbing of the fingers, because you're right. If you divert your brain to focus on something else, it has to stop. So it's almost like a muscle that you have to work of stopping those thoughts and redirecting yourself, and not going down.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It's a form of mental fitness.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to the gym every day, then you build up your muscles. So doing what we call PQ reps, which are the rubbing of the fingers, the breathing exercises, there's a whole host of those. Again, it's mental fitness every day.
Yeah.
That you can build up that muscle and be able to respond to those challenges. And the most important thing we believe is identify the behavior.
Yes. And I did
label it.
love, I think somewhere on the site or something that I was listening to about it had mentioned, like, just because that thought comes into your head, you don't have to continue with it, right?
Correct.
So you may always, like, it may take a while to stop those thoughts and they may come at you, but our choice is in the moment. It's not like almost like, okay, here I had the thought and now I have to go with it. You can stop it with those.
You can.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right. It's you by identifying what's happening to you, by just knowing that you're about to blurt out something that you may wish you didn't blurt out. Say you're in a meeting and you're getting really frustrated. And if you will just recognize what's going on, step back and say, I think I'll hold my tongue right now. How many times have we been in a meeting where we blurt out something or we say something? I mean, the talk just comes out and then we regret it. Mm-hmm. So again, hit the pause button. That's always a really good thing to do, is just hit the pause button, and just step back and say, let me think through this.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you, Sue, who should be contacting you to learn more about this or to be coached? What do your clients look like?
The clients are generally senior, experienced business leaders who have gotten themselves to the point where they're not achieving their goals. There's more that they want to get to. There's a lot inside of them that they know that, that they want to achieve, not achieve more, they just want more of their true potential to come out. And they're aware that something inside of them is stopping them. Right? They have the technical ability. They're smart people. Typically, the age range is the Gen X. Right? They're married. They have children. They have good careers, if you will, and they want to get more out of just their life. And so that's what we look for, is people who want to understand, why am I sabotaging my own behavior? It's something that I wish I had found when I was like 20.
I love it. I love how there's so much more information out there for mental fitness in so many, other capacities. And even people may say, oh, well, I only have 5 more years left to my career. Well, what you're teaching carries on to retirement, right? That is just a lifelong.
Past retirement.
Yeah.
Is because it's for personal growth and professional growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it puts you in the driver's seat. And that's what really happens is you tap into more of your energy. You tap into your emotional side as well. And then finally, you hear better.
Yeah, that's important, right? Everybody's listening skills are so important, especially hearing the right things in a clamoring world where there's so much noise, blocking out negative self-talk. Like, we get enough negativity from just life. We don't have to do it to ourselves either, right?
Right. And so what really happens is you learn how to manage your life better.
Yeah.
And you end up with better relationships, your performance is enhanced, and then you have, the well-being is that, again, it's that peace and calm.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If anybody wants to explore that more, I'll put your website in the comments, and they can reach out to you and kind of see what that would look like for them to make their positive intelligence fine-tuned.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Darlene.
Thank you.